Welcome to week number 17 in Project 2020. This week we have cards 155 through 164 releasing, and we're getting that much closer to card 200 and the 50% mark in this unbelievable set. On this Monday morning, we have Matt Taylor releasing his Jackie Robinson and Fucci releasing his Don Mattingly. At the same time, over the weekend, it was a swing and a miss. But let's get into all of that right now. Welcome back to my channel, and thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. If you'd like to connect with me outside of this video, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter at CRT_sportscards, and also if you're new around here and you want to stay up to date with the week 17 news and notes for Project 2020, please hit that subscribe button. But what happened over the weekend? What transpired? And what transpired was the cards did not fall into my print run ranges. I was 6 for 6 going into the weekend, and I missed all 4. The Thursday cards were close. The Friday cards were a swing and a miss. They were way off on projections. So taking a quick look just at the numbers overall, Mariano Rivera, bin baller, comes in at 12,611, just over my max range of 11.99. The Mark McGwire comes in at 69.77, 23 copies away from my range. Ricky Henderson by Mr. Cartoon misses by about 300, 51.55. And then the big miss of the week was Roberto Clemente King Saladin. That was at 5,916. I had a range of 7,000 to 8.5. So what are the takeaways from these cards, and what can we glean from these to learn about the future? And I think the very, very easy one is going to be the bin baller Mariano Rivera and the bin baller performance. Look, the range last week, or the top of the range was just over 6,000, and this card produces over 12,600. So when you look at potential resale in the future or any of his cards going forward, it's just not going to be there. There's too many cards. 12,000 is an enormous amount of cards right now in the time frame of Project 2020. I just don't see how these cards gain any steam when you take a look at Derek Jeter at 9,000 and other cards at that similar print run range. There's just too many cards. So outside of finding the one of one for bin baller, I just don't know how you're going to find value in these cards going forward. The second takeaway to me is more telling than the first, because the first one is just sort of a given now. The second one is about the eBay penetration and how it's ticking back up on the Mark McGwire, Gregory Siff, and the Roberto Clemente King Saladin. Over 2.1% for both, and the King Saladin over 2.3%. What does that tell us? That tells us that people are buying more copies of these cards on eBay versus going to Topps.com, which means number one, people want to save money. But number two, that means the 5x, 10x, 15x game might be slowly dying out. We know the resale market right now is limited on cards past 61, but this could continue in the future. We'll find out, but it was good to see that these cards missed, but they missed for the right reasons, and they missed because people are not buying 5, 10, 15 and bloating the print runs like we're seeing with the bin baller cards. Now, one card that's not going to perform like the bin baller did, or even like the King Saladin did this week with Roberto Clemente, is going to be this Don Mattingly by Fucci. And I'll be very honest, I have really started to like Fucci's work, but I don't understand this card. This looks unfinished. This just to me just doesn't, I don't get it. It looks too similar to Gregory Siff's card. I just don't understand it. But I'd be curious your thoughts in the comments. Do you like this card, or do you find this card unfinished? But let's look at Fucci's performance so far and where we've come with Don Mattingly. So this is Fucci's 8th card in Project 2020. His first card was Cal Ripken. His second card was Ted Williams, then Mike Trout, Sandy Koufax, Frank Thomas, Dwight Gooden, Mark McGwire recently, and now, of course, the Don Mattingly. Now, on Don Mattingly, his first card was Keith Shore, then Blake Jamieson, King Saladin, Gregory Siff, the very different Mr. Cartoon, the very different Andrew Thiel, and then the very classic subdued Old Man Allen. And now we have the Fucci, which, as you can tell, looks very similar to the Gregory Siff. Now, when you look at the artist and the player, which two are my favorites? On Fucci himself, to me, it is this Sandy Koufax. I love the King of the Hill card. I don't know why I say King of the Hill all the time, but I do. I think the Koufax is his best work at the moment. And then on Don Mattingly, it is Blake Jamieson. I think that card right now is the best of all of them, but we still have a lot of cards to go. We'll find out. But for right now, it is Sandy Koufax and then Blake Jamieson on Don Mattingly. Now let's shift our focus to the market overall and how the market reacted over the weekend. And when I took a look at the first player cards yesterday, very, very low. There was not a lot of movement on the first player cards. Same with second player. Second player was a little better, but still not the movement we're seeing overall. And movement, I'm talking about just sales. Very few sales on first player cards and just a little bit on second player sales. But when I was looking at what's available on eBay right now for inventory, something really stood out to me, and it's the fact that there are cards available to purchase, but the buy it nows are very high, and they're higher than what the average card is selling for right now. So we're either going to go in two directions. Either we're going to get to those levels, people will start paying those prices, or those sellers are going to drop their prices down. So we're not in a surge yet. We're not there yet. There are a couple cards moving forward. Like, for example, Frank Thomas's first player and second player card are surging right now. I don't understand that. I'm trying to figure out why that is. But for the most part, we're just sort of staying pat right now. We're hardening that base up, but we're going to find out this week, will people move up to the sellers, or are the sellers going to move down to the buyers? Now, there is a group of cards that I want to introduce to you today as the Forgotten Six, and they're going to be on the screen scrolling through right now as I talk about them. These are cards that are not first or second player cards, so we have never spoken about them on this show. At the same time, these are cards that are printed under 2,000 copies. They're getting lost in the shuffle. They're under card 60, they're low printed, but we never talk about them. So when you're thinking about value in the future and you're thinking about where can I target cards to potentially flip in card 300, at card 250 or 350, these to me are the six, because right now no one's talking about them, and from a value perspective, they are very, very low. Let's take a look at the values for the past couple of days and where they've come from over the past few weeks. Mariano Old Man Allen, right now, 237. Bob Gibson, 230. Willie Mays, 175. Ichiro, 240. Roberto Clemente, 103. And George Brett, 125. And when you look at those cards, the key to those cards is all of them, other than one, were down versus where they've been the past 3 to 4 days. When we get to the end of this, if 2,000 is the holy grail, or 3,000, I'm still thinking right now it's about 2,000, maybe 2,500 for a super, super short print here. These cards are not getting talked about, and they're going to be highly, highly in demand. So if I were you, I might take a look at these. These might be an option if they're within your price range for cards that potentially could go up that are kind of under the radar at the moment. I did though want to touch on the Nolan Ryan Jacob Rochester card that we spoke about on Saturday's show around Is This Bubble 2.0. I'm very, very happy to see that over the weekend, only 10 copies sold, and the value was under $45. It was like 44 and 36 cents. There were some cards selling at 39, there were some cards selling at 45, but for the most part, it stayed very level, nothing high, nothing too low. And as I said on Saturday's show, if this card stays at $40, $45, that's perfectly fine for a card in that print run range. But if it started escalating quickly this weekend, we were in for Bubble 2.0. While I'm not certain that's not going to happen again, it's at least a positive sign that over the weekend, the card stayed at $40, $45. And then speaking on print runs, on the website, crtsportscards.com, on our Project 2020 page, over the weekend, I loaded up a file for you to download if you want to see the print runs from rank order. And I'll be updating this file once a week after every week's print runs are announced. I'm not going to do it every day, but if you are looking to better enhance your knowledge around the print runs or where cards are at, you can go to my website. It's at the very bottom of the page, download it, and then every week I'll update it from there. Now let's shift our focus to what I think is my favorite card of the day, and it is also the only player collector I'm putting together when it comes to the entire Project 2020 set. And this is Jackie Robinson by Matt Taylor. And welcome to Las Vegas is all that I can say about this card. And I was reading Twitter as I was filming this. I already thought that, but it's great to see others out there thinking about welcome to Las Vegas with this card. But let's take a look at Matt Taylor and then Jackie Robinson to this point. So on Matt Taylor, this is his 8th card. He led us off with Ricky Henderson, then Derek Jeter, Griffey, Frank Thomas, Roberto Clemente, and then you start to see his explosion here of cards and the colors with Tony Gwynn, Cal Ripken, and now that Jackie Robinson. Taking a look at Jackie Robinson all together, very, very clean designs for him at the moment. We have Natural, Sophia Chang, Blake Jameson, the very different Mr. Cartoon. Then we have Joshua Vides, F. Dot, and then recently with the Tyson Beck, and then of course this Matt Taylor slots in very nicely and will stand out among the 8 Jackie Robinsons right now. And now when you look at Matt Taylor and Jackie Robinson, which 2 are my favorites? On the Jackie Robinson, no surprise here, the Natural is my #1 card, and I really think at the end of the day, this could end up being one of the best looking cards in the set overall. It's super clean, the red background is crisp, it's just a great looking card overall. And then on Matt Taylor, it's probably the Ricky Henderson. I don't really have a favorite Matt Taylor card, but there is potential that when I get this Jackie in hand, that this card will go to the top of my Matt Taylor collection, but we'll find out here soon. If you like this video, I would greatly appreciate if you hit that thumbs up button, and if you want more news and notes from me, please check out that playlist on the screen right now.